Hello, I'm Terry Stewart, the Region 8 Emergency Preparedness Coordinator. We're having a training today. It's a POG training, which means Portable Oxygen Generator. We've brought people in from all over the region to see this equipment, use it, and learn the details of how to make this equipment operate properly. Pete Midden will be, and David Eldridge will be performing the class. And at this point, let's just get started.
Twist.
They just twist and lay down. Just like that. And then this one goes up.
Now this unit has not been apart since West Liberty, so we'll have to, might be a few little things to look at as we go here. So, not been used since West Liberty.
Basically, what you have here is a air compressor here that's going to compress the air, send it over to the generator, okay? So, certain things you need to remember about the air compressor. First of all, it's 240 volts. So, if you're running on a generator, you need to make sure that you have the proper end to fit into your generator. It's something we need to look at to make sure all of our generators, if we don't have the proper end on the generator, then we can go on and make some patch cords and have them available to us. If you are running on generator, you want to make sure that you keep your compressor upwind of your generator or anything that is producing carbon monoxide. Last thing we want to do is produce carbon monoxide and then give it to people for breathing. They won't work very well. So what you need to do is make sure that your compressor stays upwind from it and about 30 feet away. You got a 30-foot cord that comes with this, so you can stay at least 30 feet away and make it and set it all up. The system is very easy to set up. In your accessory box, one of the boxes is an accessory box. First of all, there's a manual in there. There's a couple manuals in this one. All right. So you always have those with you. You also have all your fittings. Whoa, what's that for? Fittings?
No, there was some not there.
Okay.
There were some always. That's all of them.
Okay. Your fittings are here. You got your flow meters. You got your Y adapters. So you can pretty much set up and do whatever you need to do. It's all here in the accessory box.
Yeah, that should be the same as yours. If there's something missing, let me know, but it should be all there.
You need, that's a cover if you need it. But the first thing you want to put on is your air intake filters. And another nice thing about this, when they built this, they made it military proof, idiot proof. Don't need any tools in it. Cut that out for film. But you don't need any tools. They're all right here. Tighten it down. Got your, even has your own. The next thing is to hook it up to power. We're lucky here because first time we ever set this thing up, we didn't have the proper plug. We tried 2 or 3 different things. And we finally ended up taking a plug off the stove and rewiring it and doing it hot. And we thought we had the right plug, right breaker turned off. Guess what? We didn't. So you want to be careful. And if you do have to use it, make sure an electrician or somebody with knowledge knows how to do the electrical stuff. So, okay. All you really need to do, it's got an indicator light that the power is available. Check your rotation. There should be, those vents should open up as a fan to blow through, and then your compressor is inside here, and it'll compress the air. The next thing, go back to your accessory box again, and you hook up the supply hose. Yeah. Supply hose from the compressor to your generator unit.
Work against each other.
Generator goes on the lower left-hand side. The one nice thing about these things are all this stuff is marked. So I mean, you don't really have to remember a lot. We've got a supplemental page. It's in the box right there. Supplemental page that I'll give you before the day is over. I showed you the manuals. I got it down to 2 pages, front and back, so it makes it easy to what you have to do to get it going. And you really do want to tighten all your air connections. The generator unit is 110 volts. Again, if you're running on generator, you want to keep any of our big generators can handle all of these units together, but just any 110 volt standard electric outlet will run this unit. Also, when you plug this in, a couple things you need to do. You need to open up the inside of the cabinet. And inside here, you want to just make a visual inspection, make sure that everything looks like it's hooked up, nothing's come loose in transport or whatever. But this is your oxygen monitor and your dew point monitor. The oxygen, air, as we all know, is 21% oxygen. What this unit does is take the oxygen or the air that we've generated over here, takes the nitrogen out, captures the oxygen, and sends oxygen out to the ports on the front of the unit. Okay? There's like I said, an onboard monitor that will monitor that for you. When you do start these units up, it'll take about 45 minutes to go from 21% oxygen up to 93% oxygen. Anything above 80 is better than nothing. You know, actually, anything above 70 is better than, if you need somebody that needs oxygen, you're producing 70% here, put it on them. It'll help them. It'll be better. Danny and David, wherever David went, would agree with that.
Yes.
You know, it's better than nothing. So
You're not got your ideal situation when you're
right.
using this.
When you're generating it, when you're using this, it's not ideal anyway. But you know, one of the advantages of this thing is, like the Zumo tent that we all have, that we know that we have, if we could set this thing up and see patients and administer oxygen and treat those patients in that Zumo tent if we had to, and still be running on generator power. So
what I liked about it too is the fact this will maintain at least 2 ventilators.
yeah.
At least the style that EMS has. It'll maintain 2 of those.
Each of the units will.
Each of the units.
Either
So you
unit
could,
will.
if you had both of them set up, you could maintain at least 4 ventilator patients, which is very important if you had to shut down your ICU.
On the lower left-hand side, there is also a drain port, okay? It's right in here. It usually off is in the 9 o'clock position. So you want to make sure you know where that is, because you're going to have to, there's the drain port right there. Let's open the drain. And then this is closed. Okay. When you get started, you want to make sure you want to open that. Also, if you're running for a couple or several days or more than 24 hours, you want to make sure you open that and drain that water out on a regular basis. They recommend daily if you're running. The other day when I was setting up and running this, we had the other unit set up, and it was that Wednesday afternoon when it was real hot and humid, and in about 2 hours I produced a half of, one of these units was about half full of water. So depending on your humidity.
So when you open the drain plug, it goes against
Yeah,
that.
it automatically, it has an automatic blow down on it also. You'll hear it discharge ever so often as you're running, but you need to drain it at least every day. So it's going to get noisy, but once we start producing air and oxygen, it'll take about 45 minutes. It can take up to 45 minutes to get up to oxygen, get up to 93%. But it's just part of it. It takes time for it to start producing. All right? Just make sure because when you start, that's an oxygen alarm, dew point alarm, and they're going to be way off the charts. So turn that to bypass to keep the alarms from ringing, and turn the alarm switch to off. To start, turn that compressor unit on. Turn the generator unit on. What happened there is that has an automatic shut-off on it. If the pressure builds to a point, it will shut the compressor off until when I turn the switch on, I start bringing in, letting oxygen into the generator. So that's one of the things to worry about. Another thing, you have another switch down here, which is that off too. So make sure all your ports are off when you start it. You have a operate and calibrate switch. It needs to be up, make sure it's over to the operating side. If you turn it to calibrate, it'll just showing you what the oxygen level of the air is. This machine can produce just air, or it can produce oxygen. So you need to know what both are. So make sure it's over to. Okay, right now, because we're just getting started, we have 0 parts per million. I've got a line over someplace. It's picking up. You just want to silence your alarms because we're not to the producing point yet, so that's all we're doing. But it's CO, 1 part per million, dew point 41%. Because it's just been sitting and we're really not moving any air at this point. If you can hear this thing cycling as the pressure builds up. Since I'm not using anything, it will cycle and bleed off every so often. So that's what you need to do. It calibrates itself. See, we're already up to 48%. In your accessory box, get out one of your flow meters, actually about 2 of them. Basically what we're going to do, okay, because we're not using anything, the compressor has built the pressure and is shut off. As soon as we start moving a little air, your compressor will come back on. It cycles, in other words. As you can also see, we're already at 53%, but that's going to change when we start moving more air through it. But what you want to do, once you get to this point, you want to open your flow meters and let them bleed just out so that the air is starting to bleed through.
The old one.
Yeah, just open one. Set it about 10 liters per minute. Just a regular flow meter that everybody's used to. The little ball runs up and down, tells you how much air you're bleeding off. We'll just open them both up. The pressure just came back on. That just set off again. All right. And what'll happen is you can do this at this point. At this point, you can put a third one on here and bleed up to 30 liters a minute, but it really doesn't change things. About 10 to about 20 to 25 liters a minute right now while we're bleeding off and letting the oxygen build. And that's all we're doing right now. Okay? As you can see, we're already up to 59%. It's pretty fast in the beginning. As we get on up higher levels, it starts slowing down.
After it reaches that point, will it maintain it?
Yeah, it'll maintain it. We'll go on and be setting up our other generator, other compressor.
This is basically the same setup as the ventilator, too. You just into a ventilator. This basically going to the compressor.
Basically, all we're doing is waiting, and we know we're going to fill bottles, so we're going to go on and set this unit up and get ready.